President Obama, oh, wow. Well, you're just putting Sam's business all out there. All right. What's your name? Question, Lysandra Rickards. I work for the Branson Center of Entrepreneurship. President Obama, Cassandra. Question, Lysandra. President Obama, Lysandra. All right. Well, I'll tease Sam about this one. Question, please do. President Obama, everybody knows about you now. Go ahead. Question, my question is around immigration. We've heard a lot about your immigration policy for undocumented immigrants who are currently living in the U.S. But what about hopeful families that are seeking a legal pathway for immigration? Into the US but are finding 7 to 10 year delays before they even can get to apply. I'd love to hear you talk some more about your policy regarding shortening that timeline and making it less onerous on the applicants. President Obama, good. That's a great question. That's a great question. The United States is a nation of immigrants. And this region has contributed to the remarkable progress. That the United States has made over the last 2 centuries. And my goal during the course of my presidency has been to make sure we continue to be a nation of immigrants as well as a nation of laws, and that we're attracting talent from all around the world. Part of what makes us special is you walk in Brooklyn and there are folks from everywhere. But they're all striving, they're all talented, they're all trying to make their dreams come true. And that is what gives us the energy and the strength to be able to accomplish everything we've accomplished. So we need to fix what is, right now, a broken immigration system. Part of it is dealing with those who are undocumented but who have been living there a long time. Are part of the community, providing them with a pathway in which they have to earn a legal status. But recognizing that they're there and we're not going to be separating out families. That's not who we are. That's not true to our values. And ultimately, it's not good for our economy. But you are absolutely right that part of the reason that some people take the illegal route is because we make the legal route so difficult. And so we're trying to identify ways to streamline that process. Now, I have to be honest. A lot of people want to come to America. So unless we just had no borders, there's always going to be a wait. There's always going to be background checks. There's always going to be some prioritization in terms of who's admitted and who's not. But I do think that there are practices we have, for example, where someone has a relation in the United States. Is clearly qualified to become at some point a legal resident and maybe in the future a citizen. But in order to do it they have to first leave the country, wait, and now they're separated from their families. I mean, there have to be ways in which we can make the system clearer and less burdensome. Some of those changes we wanted to make were in the legislation. That was proposed and passed the United States Senate. I think there is still the opportunity to get that done before my presidency is over. But it does require the Republican Party, I think, to engage with me in a more serious effort, and to put aside the politics. Thank you very much for the question. All right, this side has been neglected right here. I'm going to go with this guy with the beard, man. Because he looks a little bit like Marshawn Lynch. Question, greetings, Mr. President. President Obama, how are you? Question, more life and blessings on you and your family. President Obama, what's your name? Question, my name is Miguel Williams, but you can call I am Steppe. President Obama, Steppe. Question, Yaman, that is quite sufficient. My question has to do and surrounds U.S. policy as it regards the legalization. The decriminalization of marijuana. President Obama, how did I anticipate this question? Question, Yaman. 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 President Obama, how did I guess this question? Question, yes. And, Mr. President, it really comes on the foreground of we face economic challenges with the IMF, etc. And we find realistically that the hemp industry, the marijuana industry provides a highly feasible alternative to rise above poverty. So I am wanting to overstand and to understand how US is envisioning and how you. See Jamaica pushing forward on a decriminalization, legalization emphasis on the hemp industry. President Obama, okay. Well, I do want to separate out what are serious issues in the United States. And then how that relates to our foreign policy and our interactions with the region. There is the issue of legalization of marijuana, and then there is the issue of decriminalizing or dealing with the incarceration and in some cases, devastation of communities as a consequence of nonviolent drug offenses. I am a very strong believer that the path that we have taken in the United States in the so-called war on drugs has been so heavy in emphasizing incarceration that it has been counterproductive. You have young people who did not engage in violence who get very long penalties, get placed in prison. And then are rendered economically unemployable, are almost pushed into, then, the underground economy, learn crime more effectively in prison, families are devastated. So it's been very unproductive. And what we're trying to do is to reform our criminal justice system. And the good news is there has actually been some interest on the part of unlikely allies like evangelical community or some otherwise very conservative Republicans, because it's very expensive to incarcerate people. And a recognition that this may not be the best approach. So that's one issue. There's then the second issue of legalizing marijuana, whether it's medical marijuana or recreational use. There are 2 states in the United States that have embarked on an experiment. To decriminalize or legalize marijuana: Colorado and Washington State. And we will see how that experiment works its way through the process. Right now, that is not federal policy. And I do not foresee anytime soon Congress changing the law at a national basis. But I do think that if there are states that show that they are not suddenly a magnet for additional crime, that they have a strong enough public health infrastructure to push against the potential of increased addiction. Then it's conceivable that that will spur on a national debate. But that is going to be some time off. And then the third issue is, what will you? International policy be? And we had some discussion with the CARICOM countries about this. I know on paper a lot of folks think, you know what, if we just legalize marijuana. Then it'll reduce the money flowing into the transnational drug trade, there are more revenues and jobs created. I have to tell you that it's not a silver bullet, because, first of all, if you are legalizing marijuana, then how do you deal with other drugs, and where do you draw the line? Second of all, as is true in the global economy generally, If you have a bunch of small medium-sized marijuana businesses scattered across the Caribbean and this is suddenly legal, if you think that big multinational companies are not going to suddenly come in and market and try to control and profit from the trade, that's I think a very real scenario. And so I think we have to have a conversation about this. But our current policy continues to be that in the United States, we need to decrease demand. We need to focus on a public health approach to decreasing demand. We have to stop the flow of guns and cash into the Caribbean and Central America and Latin America. And at the same time, I think the Caribbean, Latin America have to Central America have to cooperate with. Us to try to shrink the power of the transnational drug organizations that are vicious and hugely destructive. And if we combine a public health perspective, a focus on not simply throwing every low-level person with possession into prison by trying to get them treatment. If we combine that with economic development and alternative opportunities for youth, then I think we can strike the right balance. It may not comport with your completely with your vision for the future. But I think that we could certainly have a smarter approach to it than we currently do. Got time for one more question? One more question. Let's see, this is always hard. It's always hard to be that last, it's a lady's turn. So all the guys just have to put down their hands. It's too late for you. Let's see. You know what? I'm just going to go with this young lady, right? Here. She's just right in front. Go ahead, yes, you. Hold on a second, wait for the mic.